Welcome to Wisdom for Your Day. Sit back and get ready for some knowledge from real people with life lessons you can apply to your journey today. In 1985, 26-year-old Robert Angel was a recent college graduate waiting tables. He had zero experience in the toy industry. His only asset was an idea sparked by playing a homemade drawing game with friends. As you can see in this early prototype, the game relied entirely on paper, a few basic word cards, and a dictionary. But having a fun idea and manufacturing a physical product are two entirely different things. Angel faced paralyzing uncertainty. He had to convince himself that this untested concept could actually work before anyone else would believe it. To bypass that paralysis, he adopted a strict focus on the micro-step. Instead of trying to figure out manufacturing, distribution, and marketing all at once, he isolated the very next achievable action. His first step was simply writing a list of words. A massive global footprint of 38 million copies sold begins exactly this way. You achieve scale by taking unglamorous, actionable steps while actively experiencing heavy self-doubt. The operational reality of launching Pictionary meant turning a small Seattle apartment into a makeshift factory. Angel and a tiny team worked grueling hours to hand-assemble the first 1,000 copies of the game. Once assembled, he personally hauled those boxes into crowded independent shops. He set up live demonstrations, trying to persuade hesitant store owners to take a risk on a completely unknown item. This diagram maps the emotional intelligence required to survive that early grind. First, he managed severe self-doubt by actively committing to his vision. Second, he confronted a massive fear of failure by pouring his own savings into the initial production run. Third, he handled intense financial pressure by remaining emotionally steady during the long assembly phase. Fourth, he learned to accept continuous rejection. Rather than taking a retailer's refusal personally, he processed those no's as vital market feedback. Finally, he exercised profound patience. Angel often refers to his journey as a 17-year startup, emphasizing that meaningful business traction takes serious time. Managing a team or penetrating a market is impossible if you break under pressure. An entrepreneur has to master their own psychological resilience before they can successfully lead an organization. But resilience alone doesn't build a global company. Angel eventually had to shift from solitary struggle to building an outward-facing structure. He applied strong social-emotional skills to expand. He used creative thinking to turn basic drawing into a highly interactive experience. He prioritized collaboration, bringing in partners Terry Langston and Gary Everson to strengthen the business. And he maintained a growth mindset, looking for ways to continuously improve the product. He also refined his communication skills to clearly articulate his vision to investors and publishers. Later, his deep empathy drove him to use his financial success to mentor young entrepreneurs and support nonprofits. This flowchart maps his execution game and specific leadership traits. It started with visionary thinking to spot a gap in the entertainment market, followed immediately by taking the initiative to create an opportunity rather than waiting for someone to hire him. He relied on stubborn persistence to push through production delays. He focused on building strong teams by recruiting partners with complementary skill sets. And he practiced servant leadership, judging his ultimate impact by how much he could help the next generation grow. Scaling a physical product is ultimately a social challenge. International distribution happens through structured collaboration and empowering the people around you. Today, Angel has evolved from a scrappy designer in a cramped apartment to a respected author and mentor, still radiating the exact same creative energy. Angel's process of manual assembly and grassroots testing perfectly mirrors the modern digital approach of building a minimum viable product. He proved demand through manual labor before mass production, a strategy that remains the core logic for launching software or digital services today. This matrix visualizes 12 distinct character traits. This combination allows you to move from raw idea to global presence. You need vision, initiative, persistence, creativity, team building, a growth mindset, communication, and empathy, all while conquering doubt, fear, financial pressure, and practicing patience. Your goal right now is to identify your own microstep. Pick one achievable action you can complete today. You do not need a massive budget or perfect circumstances to start building your own legacy. True wisdom starts with action. Step up and shape your own future. If you are ready to grow, subscribe, follow, and join our community. Find our full library of stories on YouTube under Wisdom for Your Day. Stay resilient, make today count, and remember to be yourself. Everyone else is taken.